Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are here at Lake Forest Cemetery in Lake Forest, Illinois, and we're here to visit the grave of a screen, like a director, in my opinion, one of the greatest to ever do it. He made a whole bunch of movies I really enjoyed. We're here to visit the grave of John Hughes and pay respects and do all that good stuff. So I thought I'd come on we're on the back side of the cemetery. He's buried over there on that side. But look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And also, just through those trees where Pops is, that's Lake Michigan. So it's a great cemetery. So if this is your first time here, welcome. I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, please consider liking, subscribing, sharing, doing those things. And if this isn't your first time here, hey, welcome back. I hope you enjoy the video as well. We'll walk around the cemetery, we'll talk about Mr. Hughes and his life, and then we'll go visit the grave and pay respects and do all that stuff. So, let's get to going. So before I forget, because I said when I was coming here I didn't need to forget, but I ended up forgetting, put your favorite John Hughes movie down in the comments, or whatever he wrote, or produced, or directed, or whatever, right? All right, back to the video. All right, so Hughes was born on February 18th, 1950 in Lansing, Michigan. He spent the first 12 years of his life in Grosse Pointe, Michigan, where he was a fan of the Red Wings and right-winger Gordie Howe. One of Howe's number 9 jerseys, sent by Howe himself, was later prominently featured in one of Hughes' films in 1986, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Hughes described himself as kind of a quiet kid. He said, "I grew up in a neighborhood that was mostly girls and old people. There were not a lot of boys my age, so I spent a lot of time by myself imagining things. And every time we would get established somewhere, we would move. Life just started to get good in 7th grade, and then we moved to Chicago. I ended up in a really big high school, and I didn't know anybody. But then the Beatles came along and changed my whole life. And then Bob Dylan's Bringing It All Back Home came out and really changed me. Thursday, I was one person, and Friday, I was another. My heroes were Dylan, John Lennon, and Picasso because they moved their particular medium forward. And when they got to the point where they were comfortable, they always moved on." In '63, Hughes' family moved to Northbrook, Illinois, a suburb of Chicago. Hughes attended Grove Middle School, later going on to Glenbrook North High School, which gave him inspiration for the films that eventually made his reputation. After dropping out of the University of Arizona, Hughes began selling jokes to well-established performers, such as Rodney Dangerfield and Joan Rivers. He used his jokes to get an entry-level job at Needham, Harper, and Steers as an advertising copywriter in Chicago in 1970. And during this period, he created what would become the famous Edge credit card shaving test ad campaign. Hughes' work on the Virginia Slims account frequently took him to the Philip Morris headquarters in New York City, which allowed him to visit the offices of National Lampoon's magazine. One of Hughes' first story, which was inspired by his family trips as a child, was Vacation 58, which later went on to become the basis for the film National Lampoon's Vacation. His first credited screenplay, National Lampoon's Class Reunion, was written while he was still on staff at the magazine. The resulting film became the second disastrous attempt by the flagship to duplicate the runaway success of National Lampoon's Animal House. Hughes' next screenplay for the imprint, however, National Lampoon's Vacation, would become a major hit in '83. This, along with the success of other Hughes scripts that year, Mr. Mom, earned him a 3-film deal with Universal Pictures. Hughes' directorial debut, 16 Candles, won almost all unanimous praise when it was released in '84, due in no small part to its more honest depiction of navigating adolescence and the social dynamics of high school life. It was the first in a string of efforts about teenage life set in or around high school, including The Breakfast Club in '85, Weird Science '85, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off in '86, all of which he wrote and directed. Oh, and Pretty in Pink '86 and Some Kind of Wonderful in '87, which he wrote and produced. To avoid being pigeonholed as a maker of only teen movies, Hughes branched out in '87 by writing, directing, and producing probably my favorite hit comedy, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, starring Steve Martin and the great John Candy. So after Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, he put out Uncle Buck and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which proved popular with audiences, but for some reason were not so well received critically. And his final film as a director was in 1991's Curly Sue. Hughes' greatest commercial success came with Home Alone in 1990, a film at which he wrote and produced about a child that was left home alone, which I'm not going to describe the film Home Alone. If you haven't seen it, just go watch it. He completed the first draft of Home Alone in just 9 days. Home Alone was the top grossing film of 1990 and remains the most successful live-action family comedy of all time. He did follow up the sequel Home Alone 2, Lost in New York in 92, and even Home Alone 3 in 97. Some of the other subsequent films that he wrote and produced during this time also contain elements of Home Alone, including Dennis the Menace and the box office flop Baby's Day Out. He also wrote screenplays under the pseudonym Edmond Dante, after the protagonist of Alexandre Dumas' novel The Count of Monte Cristo. Screenplays credited to Dante include Made in Manhattan, Drillbit Taylor, and even Beethoven. And in 1994, Hughes retired from the public eye and moved back to the Chicago area. The following year, Hughes and another partner, both of whom had production deals with Walt Disney, formed a short-lived joint venture production studio, Great Oaks Entertainment. That company went along to produce the films Jack, 101 Dalmatians, and even Flubber. On August 5th of 2009, Hughes and his wife traveled to New York City to visit their son James and their new grandson. James said his father appeared to be in good health that night and that the family had made plans for the next day. On August 6th in the morning, Hughes was taking a walk close to his hotel on West 55th Street in Manhattan when he suffered a heart attack. He was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead at the age of 59. I don't know what that sound is, but I don't know if I could deal with that all day. You hear that? That idling sound? So John, see here we go, Hughes, right there. 2009. There's his wife, Miss Hughes, right there. See? It's a great piece. I don't know what's on the other side. Let's see. Nothing. The one thing that helps you find it is the deer, the elk, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. You come in, there's the gates right there. Make a little turn. Then right here is where Mr. Hughes is at. See, let's look one more time. Sucks that we have to do this, but here we are. So yeah, the grave of John Hughes, how cool. Oh no, you can get back around the deer. Yeah, Pops is over here getting a selfie with the fake deer. So yeah, John Hughes, check that off the list. More videos to come. Thanks for watching. Thanks to the members. I appreciate you guys a lot. So I hope you enjoy the content. And as always, you never know what you'll find on the back roads. I'll see you guys next time.